Hello and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Monday, the 22nd of February 2022. Another week has begun. If you're looking forwards into the future, apparently Dr. Fauci in the US says that US citizens will need to be wearing masks until the year 2022. Perhaps masks will become a permanent thing for humans. One of the reasons why we here in Asia have had such good figures in general is because of our willingness to wear face masks. Some of that really, I think there are a couple of reasons, of course. Um, Stupidly, in some countries, it's been politicized. I mean, wearing a mask has been politicized. That, of course, is ridiculous, very illogical, and just daft. But also, here in Asia, we have a lot of problems with air pollution, and we have seen previous viruses before, things like SARS and bird flu that people were very worried about. And so people actually learnt to wear masks, and many people were wearing masks here in Bangkok even before the COVID outbreak took place, just because of the pollution. And so masks were easy to obtain and not seen as something strange. Now, nobody likes wearing them, but I think we saw it as a necessity, and that's one of the reasons why we've had far fewer fatalities than many other countries. Okay, today's Sudoku puzzle is an easy level puzzle, so welcome beginners. If you've never played Sudoku before, now's your chance to start. It's an easy level puzzle. Why play Sudoku? It's fun. We've heard, excuse me, we've heard some claims that it could help, avoid Alzheimer's, etc., etc. I don't know if those claims are really well proved, but one thing we can say is that it's fun, it's an enjoyable activity, and doesn't cause any damage to anybody else, doesn't harm anybody else, right? So therefore, you should be playing Sudoku. And how do you play it? Well, you can see there is a very large grid here, and there are some dark lines dividing the large grid into 9 different sections. And within each section, there is a finer line, and this divides the section into 9 squares. Now, within each single square, small square, you need a number, as you can see, 1, 2, 4, 6 is got already in this segment. That means the other numbers between 1 and 9, since there are 9 squares, need to be filled in. As this is a column, you can see 1, 2, 9, 6, 5. These are original numbers, no duplicates here. These need to be filled in the column, and there are rows across. Like here we have 1, 4, 6, and 8 in this row already. So we need all the other numbers between 1 and 9. And so every column, every row, and every segment here needs to have numbers 1 to 9. That's the entirety of rules of Sudoku. That's it. And so when you first start playing, you kind of go, For me, it was, I can't even remember how many years ago now, 15 years, more than that now, when I started playing Sudoku. Excuse the banging outside construction. But let's find out how we fill in a number. So for example, we look and see that there is an 8 in this row, so we know that 8 can't appear again in this row because there are only 9 squares. The same thing here, 8 can't appear again in this row. So in this section here, 8 can't appear in this square or this square or this square. So there are 2 squares at the top here. But there's also an 8 in this column, and when we look at this column, we realize that 8 can't appear again in this column, so it can't appear here. So this is blocking this square, this is blocking these 2 squares, this 8 is blocking that square. So there's only one location where an 8 can go, and so we can write it in. We write it in as a large number, equal in size to the numbers that are already there. I say that because sometimes we write in smaller numbers when we need to help ourselves find other numbers. That's how the game is played. We kind of just look for numbers that we can see that have to go in particular locations. Alright, so I'm going to start looking around the board now and see what I can see. It's damn that noise today, I do apologize. Okay, so I see a 6 in this column, and that means no other 6 can appear again, blocking this square. A 6 in this column, meaning these two squares are blocked in this segment, and a 6 in this row going across leftwards, blocking these two squares. So this is blocked by this 6 blocks these two squares, and this 6 blocks these two squares. So a 6 will have to appear in that square there. There is a 2 in this column. We extend up, so these 3 squares are now blocked by this 2. This 2 blocks these 3 squares, so this leftmost column and this central column here in this segment are both blocked, and that leaves us with only 1 square, so we can fill in our 2 here. Now, very often in Sudoku, when you've filled in a number, it can help you because you've reduced the squares available. In this case, it does help us because here we can see a 2 blocking this square. This 2 blocks any other 2s here, and a 2 blocking this square here. In fact, it's blocked in 2 ways. It's also blocked over here. And this 2 now blocks here. So blocking, 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 or blocking, and leaving only 1 location now for a 2. Before we filled in that 2, a 2 could have appeared either here or here, but now that we filled that in, we know that that stops the 2 from appearing there. Okay, hope you're getting the idea now. Okay. So, you know, it can take a little while. You have to be looking for these things. There's a 2 down this column here, blocking this square and this square. There's a 2 down this square, blocking these 3 squares. And there's a 2 along this bottom row. So blocked, if you imagine blocked, blocked, and blocked. So that's our only square left to fill in a 2 down here. And in fact, that is all the 2s. 2, we have a 2 in this segment, 2 in this segment, 2 here, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. So we can forget 2s now. If you do this on a computer solver, I mean, often it will indicate that all of the number 2s are found for you. If you find it helpful, you could note down that you've finished all the number 2s and you don't need to consider those anymore. I don't think that's really necessary. It doesn't seem to be necessary. But anyway, it just means that we can forget that for the moment. The noise is picking up again. You know, I haven't played this game before I make this video. I have no idea how it's going to be, but one thing I can say is, so you have to kind of think forward just a little bit, okay? But since this is an easy video, I'm gonna, how can I say, I'm gonna show you, all right. I'm desperately trying a reasonable way to show you something here. All right, okay, I want to consider this row here, and I hope you're going to understand the logic here. We're going to think about this row here, okay? Now, we don't yet have a 5 in this row, okay? Now, can we put a 5 in this square? Answer, no, because it's within this segment here, and we already have a 5. So this is, 5 is eliminated here. Can we put a 5 here? No, because there's already a 5 in this column. So this square and this square can't be a 5. That would leave this square or this square to be a 5. Right? But if you think about something, we have a 5 down here, like so, and these three numbers are already filled in. Right? So when we extend this 5 up here, like this, we know that the 5 is going to appear somewhere in this column. It can't appear in this column here, right? These three squares are now blocked. So a 5 is going to appear somewhere in here. Maybe we don't know where yet, but when it does, we can bring that down. And so that will block this square here. We remember, we're considering this row. 5 blocks here, 5 blocks here. This square already has a number in it, but if we extend the 5 up, and imagine that 5 will go somewhere here and will therefore block that square there. And so 5 has to appear in this square, you know, just by simple logic. I'm still looking for stuff. Okay, back, let's consider this row again. Okay, and you'll notice now that we've got most of the numbers. In fact, there are only 3 numbers missing. Okay, this square, this square, this square. So in this row, we need 3 more numbers. So we should find out what they are. First of all, do we have a 1? No, we don't. 2, yes. 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we have a 7? No. 8 we have. Do we have a 9? No. So it's a 1, 7, and 9 that's missing. 1, 7, 9. Can you remember that? 1, 7, 9. Those are the 3 numbers. So in these 3 squares, we need to fit numbers 1, 7, and 9. Now, if you notice this square here, there is an intersecting 1, meaning that 1 can't appear here. So 1 is going to appear either here or here. And there is a 9 intersecting here, or within this segment anyway. So the 9 also can't appear here. So the 9 has to be here or here, right? 1, 7, 9 were our missing numbers. 1 and 9 can't go here. They have to go here or here. But what we can say is the third number was 7, and so we can fill that in because it can't be 1 or 9, and there were only 3 numbers missing. I hope that made sense. Don't worry about trying to go at super high speed or anything like that. It's not a game of speed unless you're competing in a world championship or something. Then it's a different kettle of fish. But you know, when you're learning Sudoku, it's much better to go carefully and slowly and to try not to make mistakes. Now that we've filled in the 7, we can see, and we extend it down the column, we can say that this 7 is now blocks, the 7 now blocks these 2 squares, right? And the 7 here blocks this row. So we are blocking here, blocking here. There's a 7 here blocking these 2 squares. And so there's only one place left where we can put 7. So, you know, one thing we'll notice is we kind of go up and down the grid, or left and right along the grid. So we bring this 7 back up. We don't have a 7 in this segment yet. We bring the 7 back up and it blocks this square here. We bring this 7 that we just filled in up here, blocking that square. So blocking and blocking. Guess what? There's only one place left. So we can put our 7 there. Okay. Still very noisy outside. There is a 5 in this column, okay, bringing down this column here, and there's a 5 in this row coming across. So blocked here and blocked here. Our 5 has to go here. Let's look back up this column again, and this 5 up here. So blocking these 2 squares by this, blocking this square by a 5 here. There's only one square left where a 5 can go. 5 has to go there. Now we can, if you remember earlier, I said that this 5 blocks these 3 squares, so the 5 will have to appear in this column here somewhere, right? This 5 blocks these 3. So 5's got to appear somewhere here. Let's see if we have intersecting. Yes, this 5 stops the top square from being a 5 now. This 5 stops the middle square from being a 5, and so 5 will have to appear in that square now. You know, we couldn't get this at the beginning, but we can get it now that we've filled in some more numbers, and this is what we do. As we fill in more and more numbers, we have fewer and fewer options, and we gradually get there. Sudoku, the best Sudokus are the ones that reveal themselves bit by bit. I think that's the most satisfying kind, really. This row has 2 squares missing. 2 squares are empty, rather. And so we can find out what the missing numbers are. 1, 2, do we have a 3 yet? No. So 3 is one of the numbers. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do we have a 9? No. So 3 and 9 are the missing numbers in this row. So what we do is we look for any intersecting 3s or 9s, and guess what? We find one. This 3 intersects this square here, so 3 is not allowed to be here. So we can fill it in here. And I just said 3 and 9, so 9 is the other number remaining, and so we can fill that one in now. In this segment now, we have 2 numbers missing. So we've completed a row here, and now we're going to complete a segment because we have 2 numbers missing. 1, 2, do we have a 3? No. 4, 5, 6, do we have 7? No. So 3 and 7 are the missing numbers. And again, we look for intersecting numbers, and this 3 that we used a moment ago is helpful again because it blocks this square here. So that has to be a 3. And the last number for the block there is 7, so we can fill that in now. Now that we've filled in that 7, let's look at and see how it comes down this column here. And this 7 goes up that column there, so we are blocking here and blocking here. A 7 has to appear in that square there. Let's take that 7 that we just filled in and bring it across. Remember, up, down, left, right, all around the grid. Is that the beginning of a nursery rhyme? I'm not sure. 7 right across to the left here, 7 across to the left, so blocking, blocking, and there's a 7 blocking this column down here. So that's the only possible location for a 7. Do you see it? Okay. Let's fill it in. This row across now, there are 2 numbers missing. What are they? 1, do we have a 1? No, we don't have a 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do we have 9? No. So 1 and 9 are our missing numbers. So again, just take a look at the grid and see if we have any intersecting 1s or 9s for these 2 squares. Yeah, very close by. There's a 9 here, isn't there? So we can see 9 can't go here. 9 will go here, and leaving just the 1 to go there. Okie dokie. There are 2 numbers missing in this column now. Shall we find out what they are? 1, 2, 3, 4 is a missing number. 5, 6, 7, 8 is a missing number. 9. So 4 and 8 are the missing numbers. Now, do we see any intersecting 4s or 8s? No, we don't. But look carefully, because in this segment here we have an 8 already. So 8 cannot appear again anywhere in this segment. So 8 can't be here. 8 has to be here. And the last number for this column was 4. So we can write that in now. We have 2 numbers missing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we have 6? No. 7, 8. Do we have 9? No. 6 and 9 are the missing numbers. I think you can see very clearly, because this is so close by. You don't have to look over here. It's very nice and easy to see. The 9 is going to be blocked from this square here. And so 9 will appear here, and 6 will appear here. Now, I can see in this column we only have one square to get, so we can always find out what the missing number is. If you ever have one square missing in a segment or one square missing in a column or row, just go through the count through the numbers and find out which one it is. 1, 2, 3 anywhere? No, we don't have a 3, so that has to be a 3. Excuse the construction noise. Okay. Now, again, I want you to kind of look ahead a bit, because I'm going to look at this 3 and how it extends across here, blocking these two squares. Okay, see this 3? It's going to block this square and this square. Now up here we have a 3 that blocks this square. So this square, these 3 squares are blocked. 3 blocks this square, 3 blocks this square. So we know that, therefore, 3 will appear either here or here. So we're going to imagine it's somewhere there. So if it's either here or here, it can't exist again in this row. So it blocks all other squares in this row. I want to focus on this. So 3 blocks this, and a potential 3 here blocks these squares. This 3 blocks this square, and this 3 blocks this square. So we are blocked, blocked, and blocked. So that has to be a 3 there. And now that we've got that 3, again we take it back up into this segment where we don't have a 3 yet. The two missing numbers are 3 and 4. 3 blocks the square from here, so 3 will appear here, and 4 is the last number. Now this 4 that we've just filled in, let's take it across and see that it blocks these two squares. There is also a 4 up here, so blocking, blocking, 4 has to be the last number in this row. Let's see what the missing number is. It's 1. We don't have a 1 in this row yet, so we can fill that in now. Now the two missing numbers in this segment now are 6 and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 we don't have. 7, 8. Okay, 6 and 9 are missing. I hope you can see there's a 9 intersecting here, and so that must be a 9 and that must be a 6. We'll use that 6 to just bring it down the column, not blocking off this square and this square. And there's a 6 in this row, blocking off anything in this row, so that square here in particular. And there's a 6 in this row, blocking that square. So blocked down here, blocked across here and across here. So that is our 6. If we now take this 6 back up, and this 6 that we wrote in earlier down, so blocking here and blocking here, we don't yet have a 6 in this segment, so it's right in the middle there. Now there's only one number missing in this column. So what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's an 8. An 8 is missing. We don't yet have an 8, so we can fill that in now. Okay, I noticed that when I was looking for that 8, it made me look at number 8s in general, and so I saw that there was an 8 blocking these two squares here, and noticed that we don't yet have an 8 in this segment, so the 8 blocks this square and this square, so we can fill it in here. We can logically find this number. Maybe we have these two we can find, but we can logically find this number here. Now I'm going to show you why that is. There are two empty squares in this column, so therefore there are only 2 numbers left to get. Now maybe we know whether they come in this square or this square, but certainly they must come in these 2 squares, and there are 3 numbers missing from this segment. So whatever the 2 numbers are that go in here, the third number must be the number here. So what numbers are missing? Okay, it's a 1. We don't have a 1. 2, 3 we don't have. We have everything else. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1 and 3 are our missing numbers. So 1 and 3 must appear here and here. Right? 1 and 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is the number we don't have. Now actually you could have seen it by looking at the 9 down here. So you'll notice that there are many ways often to solve Sudoku puzzles and find a number. Okay, so now the missing numbers were 1 and 3. Actually you can see we already have a 3 intersecting here, blocking a 3 from appearing there. And so 3 will be there and 1 will be there. Our two missing numbers in this segment now are 1 and 3. We have an intersecting 3 here, so 3 is blocked from this square, 3 is down here, and 1 goes there, like so. Okay, missing numbers in this middle row here are 4 and 5. We have 1, 2, 3. We don't have 4. We don't have 5. We have 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4 and 5 are missing numbers. Are there any intersecting numbers? Yeah, there's a 4 here. So that blocks a 4 from appearing here. So 4 will be here and 5 will be here, like so. Missing numbers from here now are 1 and 8. We don't have a 1 and we don't have an 8, but we have an intersecting 8 here, so 8 has to appear in that cell there, and 1 has to appear here like that. There's only one number missing in this column now. What is it? It's a 1. Now the one that we just filled in we can bring across here and it blocks this square, and there's a 1 that we filled in earlier, blocks this square, and we don't have a 1 yet in this segment. So 1 is going to appear in the middle square because blocking and blocking. Okay, now we only have one number missing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't have a 9 yet, so that's our missing number here. 9. Back over here, I noticed that we have a 9. When you're looking for numbers, you often see other things. This 9 blocks this square from being a 9, and we don't have a 9 in this segment yet. So let's fill that in now. That's a 9. There's one number missing in this segment, and that's a 4. So we'll fill it in now. There's one number missing in this row, and it's a 4. 1, 2, 3. We don't have 4 yet. So we'll fill that in now. And so two last numbers to get, and very easy because you can just count through. So here 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have a 5, so that's our missing number here. Now either you can count the numbers down this column, or you could count the numbers within the segment. It's the same result. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a 9. We don't have 8. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a 9. We don't have 8. So the same result. You can check your answer like that. Now, as a beginner, I would recommend that you look around the grid and make sure that you haven't made a mistake, because I think when you first start playing, it's possible that you fill in numbers and you get close to the end, or sometimes you might even finish, and then you suddenly look at the puzzle and you look and you go, oh no, I've actually filled in 2 number 5s in the same segment, or I've got a row with 2 number 7s or something like that. So it is possible to make mistakes. In fact, when you first begin, I think it's quite easy to make mistakes until you practice more. And so don't worry about that. Persist. Like everything else, you get better with practice. And actually, Sudoku is a game that gets more rewarding the more you play it and the higher levels you play at, until you get to kind of a high level games which are thought-provoking but immensely satisfying if you manage to understand the logic that solves the puzzle. And that's what these games are about, logic. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the easy puzzle. Look for other easy puzzles actually on my channel. You can see I've grouped videos into easy, medium, hard and expert level. So I would say if you're just beginning, try a couple more easy puzzles, then go on to the medium puzzles and just work your way up. I didn't need to draw in any pencil marks here. This is a kind of extremely easy puzzle, really. So I hope you understood everything that I taught you today, and go away and look at some more easy level video Sudokus. Thank you very much. Bye bye.